zany to the max. So just sit back and relax. You'll laugh when you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers
and the Warner Sister Dot.
Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we break loose and then the moose, and now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks while Bill Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Meet Pinky and the brain who wants to rule the universe. But feathers flock together, Slappy whacks them with her purse. Button chases Mindy while Rita sings a verse. The writers split, we have no script, why bother to rehearse? We're Animaniacs. We have pay or play contracts. We're zany to the max, there's baloney in our slacks. We're Animaniacs, totally is Pinky and the Brainy. Animaniacs, those are the facts.
Hello and welcome back to Auto Club, site to race number 5 of the 2008 NRSL Coke Vanilla Cup Series season. And join me once again is Stephen Paul III.
Hello, guys.
Front row today, we'll see Samet Ozkan alongside hometown hero Jean Sanford looking for her first Auto Club win and her third career win in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series. Max Anderson and Jesse Turner will make up row number 2, with Cole Deaver, Ryan George row 3, Jeffrey White, Chris Wilson in row 4, and Jessica Shelton and Time Pollard in row number 5. Here's the rest of the starting grid as I hand it over to Steven for his thoughts and predictions.
Well, in duels, we see a pretty tame race. The Hooters was crazy, and the Trucks was too. You got to run toward the front to have good strategy, but it all depends on when they pit. This is going to be a 2-pit stop race, it looks like. So who can have the best strategy come out front? 63 laps is a long time, so you got to check the engine pressure. That'll be good, too. The 10 car is definitely a favorite. They've won twice with different drivers, but like we mentioned, that was with the previous team. Let's see if Everham could get the speed. Our final row is Qualls in the 12. It's definitely going to be interesting. The draft is going to play to effect, and who can come from the back and snake through the draft and come to the front is going to be the most interesting part.
So coming into this one, the point situation is JT Bryant, the rookie, is leading the points by 14 over the 2005 champion Mary Shelley. Is 38 back to Jessica Shelton and Matt Dixon in third. Max Anderson is 41 back in fifth. Those are the 3 winners in the top 5. Amy Shelley, also a winner, is down in
Drivers, start your engines.
As there's a command, she is down in 24th place. So right now the chase grid is the 4 winners and then the top 15 points plus Amy Shelley. As the field rolls off, rest of the top 10 in points coming into this one: Chris Wilson, Gene Sanford, Henry Sanford, Derek Hamill, and Alexander Rowe. And field has rolled off, so it looks like all 42 cars should take the green flag here. Onboard cameras that we will carry should we need them. JT Bryant will be carrying our Haviland onboard. Mary Shelley will be carrying the Dodge onboard camera. Shelton the Ford onboard camera. Matt Dixon the Chevy onboard camera. Max Anderson the Furniture Row onboard camera. Chris Wilson will be carrying the Toyota onboard camera. A little bit of a lag spike there. Jeez. Gene Sanford, the Little Debbie's onboard camera. And Derek Hamill in the 00 will be carrying the Aaron's onboard camera in this one.
Yeah, so here we come down. Definitely going to be interesting to see who can, hopefully the field doesn't get too spread out too.
So here we go. Pace car will pull off and we're ready to go with the conclusion to the Animaniacs Racing Weekend, the first ever such racing weekend here at Auto Club. And the Animaniacs 500 is green.
Yep, here we go. Let's see what happens on the start. Ozkan looks like he got a good jump right there on Gene.
And they are 3 wide already behind them. Ryan George making the move inside of Max Anderson for 3rd spot into turn number 1.
We got a long way to go, Ryan.
And it's going to be still side by side for the race lead down the back straightaway. Looks
Yeah,
like
that's-
Samet Ozkan going to be the favorite to lead lap 1 here, so Gene might not even lead off the pole.
Well, Gene's definitely gonna need those. I mean, not Gene. Ozcon needs those 5 bonus points definitely. So.
47 could have used them as well. As off turn number 4, it will be the 8 Army Chevrolet Samet Ozkan. 5 bonus points for leading a lap.
Like I said, they're snaking the draft right here. You gotta have to play it smart. As here comes Jeffrey White on the outside. No, that's Max Anderson. Oh, there he
Jeffrey
is.
White going for 3rd will clear the 49 off of turn number 2.
Oh, somebody like.
Lastly for 4th, Shelton clears the 49 as well down the back straightaway. Battle is now for 5th between actually for 6th between the 2 French Row racing cars.
Yeah, Max Anderson's having a dream season so far. He's on Jeff's level of domination right now, keeping it up right now.
Cole Deaver on the extreme outside line back there.
Yeah, Cole's not used to making races, so he's not really sure what he's doing.
To be fair, it's his 2nd season, so he made quite a few last year.
Oh god, that was very harsh. Oh god, Zach Rogers up the hill.
And Jack James, the CHP Ford, up into the 14th position now, or just made the pass for 12th, I would say.
That warms Charles' heart. This car does not warm Charles' heart.
I don't think it warms the series officials' hearts, I will still say that much. Meanwhile, up front, looks like Gene has gone back into second. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Max Anderson now is cleared for 5th. Chris Wilson's going to clear for 6th down the front straightaway. Jeffrey White going for 2nd, going into turn number 1.
I think Charles would like Gene first, Henry second, and the 28 third. That would be the fitting ending.
That would be a nice one. But, oh well, I'm not going to complain either way. As Jeffrey White now down the back straightaway, you see them having to snake through the bumps down that back straightaway right there.
Oh yeah, it's realistic as we see the big King Taco sign back there.
And Gene Sanford going to clear back for 3rd. Wilson slid up the track and nearly got into Max Anderson.
Yeah, Wilson's not used to being in the front of the field during qualifying, so he's a little bit unsure what he's doing up there.
Meanwhile, Gene Sanford going back for 2nd on the 16 as they go into turn number 1.
I'm calling the 47th finishing 11th.
Huh?
The 47th finishing 11th.
Is that what you're calling?
Yeah.
As now Jessica Shelton trying for 3rd on the 16 of Jeffrey White.
Yep, having a little help from the 22 car right there.
Not going to be able to clear though, and now White's going to get the run through off of turn number 4. And White going to try and pull the same move back on the 47 that they got pulled on them the last lap around.
White's in the top 15 in points, so definitely an interesting move right there by him.
Try again. That's 17th actually for the 16 coming in.
Close enough. Just numerals a little off.
As Jeffrey White unable to clear for 2nd down the back straightaway, that should open the door for Gene Sanford to go and get a nice run through 3 and 4.
How about a good field story right there at 9th? Jesse Turner has done absolutely nothing this season, so here he comes up to the field.
Oh, Jeffrey White blocks the 47!
He tried it. He tried.
Well, it made it work for him. Is Chris Wilson going to be a big winner out of that one?
Correction. The 40 when he almost won the 500. Besides that, he's done nothing this year. As all this is getting tight up here.
Wilson now trying for 2nd on the 16, unable to clear off turn number 2.
Well, if you notice right now, the tires have worn down to about 2/10, right, and they're going to keep going bad, so people are going to be sliding up the hill. The rookies don't know how to adjust to that right now.
Well, and that's Jeffrey White, though, a rookie on the outside in 2nd, trying to clear Chris Wilson down the front straightaway. Going to have help from Shelton, maybe.
Max Anderson's at the bottom of the racetrack getting a push, and that bottom line is just horrible in turn 4.
Well, wasn't quite able to get to the inside line. Still stuck up on the outside. Here comes Jack James now going to fill that hole.
Nobody's got the wall yet. I can see it. It's the 22 Wilson going for 2nd right there.
Well, he's still trying it. This has been a 2-lap bat, or they're working their 2nd lap going side by side now. And Jeffrey White going to win that battle into turn number 3.
Smellscon is not one in the series. I can confirm that. I believe his best finish is 3rd, so here he comes up there.
Shelton now will grab 3rd away from Chris Wilson, speaking of 3rd. Ryan George looking for what would be a career best run for him. Now, right now runs in 5th.
And Kev's on the floor right now, seeing Ryan George in the top 5.
Although Amy Shelley will grab that spot away in the 78 car.
Yep, and Ozcon would definitely break our thing, because I think Ozcon, what is it, 56th in points or something like that?
I'm trying to figure that out in my head. I think that's 48th.
Yeah, so well, he wouldn't really break it, but yeah, that'd be a good winner. Now everybody's single file starting to fan out a little bit.
Gene Sanford now trying for 6th once again as Shelton makes the move for 2nd down in turn number 1.
Correct. There she comes to the bottom of the racetrack.
And right now, not going to clear coming off turn number 2. Can she stick it in there, though? Not going to have any help. Chris Wilson now going to fill that gap on the outside line.
Yes, down the backtrack. Amy Shelley wanted to land it. Here she comes here.
Auto Club has not been one of her better tracks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'll look at the stat sheet real quick. I always forgot how to format, and I'll find it.
So if you go to data and you go to sort A through Z, that would show you the top to bottom. That would show you from lowest number. Chris Wilson clears for 2nd off turn number 2. Ryan George, Gene Sanford battle for 5th continues to rage on, or for 6th, I mean.
Let's see. Olscon actually finished 8th here last year, so that's not. So it's actually been a good track for him because he did not run well that much at tracks last year.
Max Anderson, Amy Shelley, they are cleared as Shelley actually lost quite a bit of ground. She was last scored in 5th, so I believe Gene Sanford now is up into the 5th position.
So by the stats, Cement Olscon's best finish is 2nd in twin rig last season, so he's trying to go forward, but Chris Wilson's trying to deny that fact.
Wilson tried to get there, but Cement Olscon closed the door, and Wilson lost the nose through 1 and 2.
Pretty ironic. Chris Wilson finished 9th, and Olscon finished 8th last year, and they're running 1-2 right now.
Jeffrey White, in his first trip to Auto Club, currently fending off 3rd from Jessica Shelton now.
Let's see. Where is Jeff?
And Chris Wilson with a run down the front straightaway, side by side for the race lead on lap 13. And new leader at Auto Club 22, Caterpillar Toyota for Bill Davis Racing.
Yeah, he finally found some speed this week, so watch out if that 22 car's got good speed.
Showing you the field on the ticker there as much as I can there.
Well, this is Jess's 2nd start at Auto Club. She finished 27th last year, so trying to get better here.
Well, and she's going to grab 3rd away from Jeffrey White. Now going to try for 2nd down the front straightaway. Let's see how well Cement Olscon's car now handles in dirty air as Ryan George makes the move to the inside of the 16.
Correct. Gene, well, we'll see that real quick. Where's Gene?
Shelton clears off turn number 2.
Gene has finished 5th, 42nd, 33rd, and 6th. So this might be looking like a bad race result based on the history.
Well, those aren't necessarily in order.
Oh, okay. Well, she has 2 top 10s here and 1 top 5, so a good track for her for sure.
As I noticed something when we did the ticker, JT Bryant not running well right now. He is currently in the 41st position.
Don't worry, guys. He'll still somehow hold the points lead.
Well, right now, I mean, to be fair, Mary Shelley's not much better. She's 4 wide going into turn number 1, 36th.
Man,
Adam Flickinger got out of it.
I think Adam was a mummy right there for trying that pass.
Oh, Henry Sanford closed the door on the 08 down the back straightaway.
So Mary Auto Club. So Mary has a 38th, 27th, a 3rd, and an 8th. So the 78th hasn't done too bad at this track.
There's the aforementioned number 10 for Kenny Momo. Was last scoring 33rd, coming around this time by in still 33rd.
Correction, I just read off Mary Shelley's stats. Amy Shelley's best result here is 7th for her, and she's running 8th right now, trying to better that.
Looking through the field as I show you, as we go back up towards the front of the field. The line of Bohemian, Steve Pollard, that is a battle for 17th. That will go the way of the 82.
Yeah, Austin LaPlante has actually ran here before, as you see him. This is not his debut run here at Auto Club.
His 2nd career start at Auto Club, yeah.
Correct.
Second or 3rd. Might be a 3rd, actually.
There's so many drivers in series history.
As Derek Hamill clears for 8th off turn number 2. That was battling with Amy Shelley in the 78. Now Jack James trying for an opportunity there, but Jesse Turner seeing 10th on the has 10th on the brain as they go into turn number 3.
Well, LaPlante finished 41st in his first race, his only start here, so it can't get any worse from there.
Definitely can't get much worse.
Yeah. Jessica's...
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jessica's come to the field. You mentioned her. Hasn't been very lackluster here, but now showing some speed. That 21 car is fast.
After several seasons of not... They only had one coming into this season, and Shelton even ran for the team last year, so... I mean, she was a chase contender, just... She actually would have made the chase if we were using this season's format, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah, so Jess is doing very well. Yeah, the 21 and the 87 are going to be the threat for the title. I'll tell you that. And if Jean can actually get top 10, she'll be a threat too.
Well, I get why you're guessing for 11th now. Ryan George all over the back bumper of Jeffrey White going into turn number 1. It is Derek Hamill, though, that will make the move on Max Anderson. That is for 7th. So Derek Hamill steadily making his way up through the field now.
I can tell you something too. We are flying through this race. We're gonna have lap 20 coming up soon.
And should be an opening for first round of pit stops maybe, as Ryan George looking for a way around the 16 might get a run, try and get a run down the front straightaway here.
Well, yeah, you want to outsmart your opponent here. So the driver there. So if you pit early, you can gain more track position.
Speaking of, let's see, no one pitting that first time, or that time around at least, so.
Yeah, James Qualls is definitely trying not to continue his top 10 streak back there.
Derek Hamill closing in on the 47. Could this be a battle for 6th now? Derek Hamill seems to be flying right now.
Yeah, he's a rookie. He doesn't know how to bite it. Oh, Gene's pitting.
Gene Sanford will be the first one to pit. The Little Debbie's Toyota from pole position pits out of 6th here on lap 20. We'll be joined by one of the Red Bull cars. Looks like the 82.
Well, Jean's smart for pitting right here because it is a cost. She has the lead.
Well, that's assuming she stays on the lead lap. Steve Pollard also pits that time around. So
yeah, we see that.
And they definitely will have to pit at least one more time in this one, pitting on lap 21. We're only about a third of the way through this one.
Yeah, yesterday I almost ran. Well, I lost my train of thought.
Ryan George going to stay out an extra lap, try and get 5 bonus points, it looks like. And he should do so, as Chris Wilson will lead the field onto pit lane this time by.
Abrahamian stays out too.
Jessica Shelton on pit lane. Smet Ozkan. Actually, almost going to be better just to show you and say who didn't pit.
Exactly.
As you see all the drivers on pit lane. Ryan George, Jesse Turner, Delon Abrahamian, Logan York, Kira Arenthay, Brian Hart, Mary Shelley, Adam Flickinger, Kenny Moma did not pit.
Right.
And so Ryan George collects his 5 bonus points. He pits. So too will Jesse Turner, Delon Abrahamian. Looks like the rest of the field pitting here on lap 22. And now where will Gene Sanford cycle through?
Now, you know, this is funny because the cycle works out. It's 21, 42, and then 63. The light flag lap is lap 63.
True. So let's see where Gene Sanford's going to cycle through in all of this. So see, there's the 00. That's pretty much right where she was at before. And there's the 87 of Max Anderson.
Yeah, Brian James is in this race, right?
Wow. But it will not be enough, as Chris Wilson, Jessica Shelton both beat the 47 out of pit lane.
And it's time to get the lawn chairs and the popcorn.
I wouldn't be so sure on that.
Well, definitely not right now, because Jessica Shelton has hunted down Chris Wilson here.
As Chris Wilson, see where he cycles through, we expect him to be the race leader, I would imagine. There's Ryan George coming off pit lane. And 22 will go back to the race lead. We'll wait for it to cycle back around and then give you a field rundown here after the first cycle of pit stops.
Caution free.
And Ryan George ends up his 3rd. Nice.
Nice pit strategy by George.
So coming off turn number 4, Chris Wilson back into the lead. Jessica Shelton is 2nd. Ryan George third. Gene Sanford ends up fourth in the pit cycle. Jesse Turner fifth. Anderson sixth. Ozkan seventh. Steve Pollard in eighth. Battle is for ninth between Logan York, Delon Abrahamian. Rafael Leduc is scored in 11, or will be 11th. Derek Hamill 12th. Jeffrey White 13th. Austin LaPlante. Kira Anthony top 15. Brian Hart. Zach Rogers is, I think that should be 17th. Yep. Sky Commons 18th. Jack James 9th. Or 18th? I guess 19th actually. Now 20th. Pretty Shaw would be 21st. Amy Shelley back in 22nd. There's Seth Cole. Just kind of showing you where everyone's at, because now at this point I'm not going to even have track of who's what position.
Yeah. Alexander Rowe is there. Henry
JT
Sanford
Bryan actually
unsponsored.
gained some spots out of this cycle.
Wow, a whole 3. Matt Dixon in last. That's a tough break for the 70. He came in the race top 5 in points.
Gene Sanford has gone third away from Ryan George as they start to try and chase down the top 2. Jesse Turner might have something to say about that battle for 4th.
Jesse Turner finally. Christopher Pierce's best run was 5th at this track last year, like I mentioned in the duel. So the 41 car, not surprised to use the same setup from last year to have some speed.
To be fair, their history at Auto Club hasn't been the best either, though, as Gene Sanford was running the 41 when she had that last place finish.
Gene ran the 41 before?
Yep, 2004.
Man, Gene's ran everything pretty much.
Yeah, she's run the 32 for what was then PPI Racing, I think.
Was it Kale Walls or PPI?
Huh?
Was it Kale Walls Racing or PPI?
I think it was the PPI at that point. She's also run the 41. She ran the 43 for a season. She ran 55.
And 47
and
for the last 2.
47 the last 2, yeah.
Here comes the 49 and George trying to come down. Bam Racing won in Michigan. And you know what's the sister track to this? This track. And so the 49 car, not a surprise, they're running pretty well right now. Different driver, but he was a rookie too when he won. He's not even in the series anymore.
Looking for 3rd, but it's going to be Gene Sanford who grabs the spot back off turn number 4. Shelton kind of starting to fall off of the back bumper. Chris Wilson, that's as those two try and just pull away.
Who was the guy in the 49 car last year?
Zachary DeLello, as Samet Ozkan going for 6th. He's caught the 87 now.
Good move by the 8 car with the Army one.
So Anderson falls back to 7th. Logan York is solid run so far as they're 3 wide with Steve Pollard, Rafael Leduc, and Delon Abrahamian.
You know what? I'm not surprised by the 82 car because Steve won here last year in the 33 car, the last original Cup winner at this track with that body style. So here comes Steve up here. Good driver on Auto Club.
I'm not sure his stats, other than that win, I don't think his stats at this track were all that great either, though.
Yep, this is what propelled Steve to his chase where he utterly choked, but he still made the chase.
As Jeffrey White, Delon Abrahamian going to grab a spot, and Gene Sanford is starting to close the gap on the top 2. 0.2 of a second closer that time around. As Shelton starts to fall back, Gene Sanford starts to close in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Steve finished 34th and 28th in his other starts, so maybe Auto Club's not his best track.
Might have been just a fluke run. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Wow!
As Gene Sanford now within a second, she's starting to close the gap within drafting distance of that 21 for 2nd spot on the racetrack.
I mean, it's bad enough I missed both races this week.
Jesse Turner now has closed the gap, so it's a 5-car battle. It's a 4-car battle for 2nd, and might soon be a 5-car battle for the race lead.
Well, I never even saw quietly in 10th. Logan York also up there. Logan's been struggling all season.
True. Other than the fact of winning Daytona, or not winning Daytona, but finishing top 10 Daytona.
Yeah.
As Gene Sanford now makes the move for 2nd on Jessica Shelton.
The battle of the Debbies.
True. Ryan George gonna try and make it 3 wide though for 2nd down the back straightaway. Where does Turner go in all of this?
Where's Mark George? Oh God, down the inside.
Oh! I think that little move there is gonna help put the 21 back up into the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Ryan George tried it, and Jesse Turner going with George right there.
Although that's a smart move down the front straightaway. George going to try and stick the nose back in there into turn number 1 for second. Not going to be able to clear Shelton, though, off turn number 2. Does Turner make it 3 wide now? Yes, he does.
And look at him. Here comes the 49 car. Can he get to side by side with Jess right there?
No, he can't. And so they're going to be 3 wide for third into turn number 3 now.
I forgot Chris Wilson was up there for a second.
And Jean will now clear. She sets her sights back on the 21 down the front straightaway.
Yep. As you know, Jean, like Charles says, very consistent drive in the series. Doesn't wreck a lot and doesn't DQ a lot. Just gets a solid runs of results and is showing it right now.
And she will clear the 21 off turn number 2. So move Jean Sanford to second at her home track. Jesse Turner trying for fourth down the back straightaway on Ryan George.
Yep. Doing good things for the 41 car right there.
Not going to be able to clear, though. And so George now going to get the run through 3 and 4.
Chris Wilson, he was on the outside locking in, so this would be a great result if he can lock himself and he could win.
He was 6th in points coming in, so just on the outside of it. Jean Sanford was just on the outside of it as well, though she was 7th in points coming in. Now sets her sights on the 22 as the battles for third between Jessica Shelton and Ryan George. Shelton gets the run, though, and Ryan George unable to clear through 1 and 2.
Correct. As he's going to tuck back a line right there.
And starting to lose some frames here.
Yeah, that's interesting. As we'll probably see pit stops about 10 laps right here.
True, as Jean now kind of clears that battle. These two are kind of in their own little zip code. Derek Hamill now looks like he's got a long run car right now as he's now making moves towards the front again, trying for 9th place on Logan York.
Correct. Here he comes. Oh, do a little up the hill right there. Goes Mary. Oh, that's actually Raphael Duke, not Mary.
That is LeDuc in the 45. Logan York trying for the crossover as the battle goes on for, I believe that was third. Someone was out of line up towards the front of the field.
Whoa, here comes the Duke.
Whoa. They tried it, but Logan York closes the door on him.
2 rookies right there not playing nice.
Ryan George has finally gone third away from Jessica Shelton, though. Here comes Jesse Turner now in a battle for fourth.
Jean Sanford's top 22.
And the gap now under 0.3 of a second as Turner now clears the 21. And what can Jean Sanford do with the 22 if she can get there?
And if Jean's leading on the white flag, I'm muting my mic.
I mean, to be fair, it's not going to be as good as Irwindale last season.
Very true.
As Jean in the tire tracks of Chris Wilson, right where you want to be at Auto Club, basically.
Yep, as we're entering, lap 37. So we're about halfway home right now to go, so.
Gap holding firm up there. Derek Hamill now trying to catch the 1 car. Meanwhile, Austin LaPlante, Jeffrey White battle for 13th. And that one will go the way of Jeffrey White there off turn number 2. So it looks like as the tires start to wear, outside line becomes a little bit better in 1 and 2.
Correct.
But you can still at least make the passes in 1 and 2.
As, yeah, cars fly up and they get more momentum right there.
Adam Flickinger up into 17th.
Not bad for the Mummy car. They started in the back. They used a Provo, actually.
I'm pretty sure they started 41st.
Well, that might be the magic number. Jess won from 41st at Bristol, so.
Zach Rogers trying and peaking on the 55 into turn number 1. Seth Cole now clears for 17th on the 12 of Adam Flickinger. And
Correct,
the gap is under 0.2 of a second for the race lead. Jean Sanford starting to peak as Ryan George has caught him.
Yep, as here they come out. Top 4 have kind of pulled away from the pack right there.
Jessica Shelton starting to fall back though, yeah. So it's right now a 3-car battle for the race lead. Turner's just kind of idly watching at this point. And Shelton hoping that these drivers can make some moves and let her catch back up, or hoping for the next pit stop to make some better adjustments on that Little Debbie's Ford.
Correct, and I might have to throw my shoe on the track. I think it was the 49 car at the bottom of the racetrack.
Not going to be able to make that move work as now Jean Sanford is going to get the run off turn 3 and 4, but that might be just what she needed to take the fight to the Caterpillar Toyota.
Yep, with 23 to go here. Can Gene make a move, and how will the pit stops play a factor in this?
It's 23 to go next time by.
Correct.
As Jesse Turner made a peek for third, was unable to make the move stick on Ryan George. And that might be what Gene Sanford needed to allow the 22 and the 47 to pull away from the 49 a little bit.
So here they come. Gene's all over the back bumper of Wilson right there. Just cannot complete the pass. It's so hard to make a pass at the outside of the bottom line of this track.
Well, and probably at that point just didn't want to make the move going into 3 and 4 either, knowing that that was just not going to work out well. But that's going to open the door for Ryan George now for second going into turn number 1. And the 49 will complete the pass this time on Gene Sanford.
Yep, we'll get that good run right there. There's the 41 at Turner, so the top 5 broke it away.
Top 4 as there's Jessica Shelton in 5th, 1.6 seconds back.
Oh, definitely lost the draft right there.
Worth mentioning and remembering, Gene Sanford does have the oldest tires of this top 4, so that might be part of what will hinder her.
Her progress, yeah, definitely for sure. We're working lap 42 right now as we see Claus moving up gradually up to the field. Well, not really gradually, he's still 39th.
And just kind of again showing you through the field, Jack Halleck and Sam Young battling for 30th now. Time Pollard has fallen back. Remember, he started 10th. He's now running 26th.
Of course he is.
Jack James back in 24th after running top 10 early on. And we've got pit stops once again. Samet Ozkan, Max Anderson on pit lane, as well as Gene Sanford.
Yep, these guys are the smart ones because they'll gain the most time. If you wait to the middle, you don't get that much information.
Seth Cole, Zach Rogers, William Brock also on pit lane, as well as Henry Sanford, James Qualls, and Matt Dixon. And these pit stops coming at the completion of lap 42 on to lap 43. Chris Wilson will pit this time around, and Ryan George will stay out once again. Jesse Turner will also stay out.
That's going to help Ryan George definitely at the end.
Jessica Shelton also is pitting. Delana Bohemian on pit lane. Derek Hamill will pit, as will the 45, the 16, the 46 is on pit lane. Adam Flickinger, 78 of Amy Shelley, Sky Commons, Steve Pollard, Kenny Moma, Jack James, Time Pollard, Cole Deaver, Will Hoyt, Halleck, Sam Young. At this point, again, just show you who's on pit lane.
Sad there, everybody.
As Ryan George, Jesse Turner both stayed out an extra lap, they will now pit this time around. And Logan York will pit. Looks like Kira Arenthade will try and stay out. Yes, she will. So the hefty Chevrolet going to try for a bonus point here, or some bonus points.
Yeah, not bad. So maybe she can make it to
5 bonus points to the 37 for leading the lap.
Maybe she'll make the end of the race. Who knows? That could be great strategy for the 37.
And meanwhile, going back up to the front, or at least going to try to, Seth Cole has overtaken Max Anderson.
His flea right there.
And up here, there's Gene Sanford, there's Chris Wilson.
Darling, yep.
So it looks like Wilson's still going to cycle back around to the race lead.
Yeah, Wilson, since he made that pass, I'll lead on Ozkan. He has not looked back since.
Although, granted, some other people have led during the course of the pit stop cycles. So that said, though, nothing's set in stone yet. We'll have to wait and see. As there's Ryan George coming off pit lane, exiting turn number 2 right now. Probably not gonna hang on to the lead.
Will. Yes, he will.
Well, let's see. Chris Wilson into turn number 3. Gonna have that outside line going for him.
Give the lead to that 49 car.
Ryan George gonna have to battle for it. Here comes Chris Wilson.
He's not gonna lead the lap.
Wilson leads.
Oh, that was so
actually, sorry,
fake.
Aaron Tate still leads because she was on pit lane. But now Chris Wilson leads. Jesse Turner now in second. And it's going to be a battle for third. Gene Sanford takes the spot away from Ryan George. Jessica Shelton in 5th. Battle for
Well-
6th between Delano Brahimi and Derek Hamill. 8th to
Yep.
Seth Cole. 9th, Samet Ozkan. And 10th is Logan York. Leduc is 11th. Austin LaPlante now is going to be battling for 12th with Max Anderson. 14th to Adam Flickinger, I believe. 15th to Brian Hart. Battle for 16th between Kira Arenthade, Zach Rogers, and Jeffrey White. 19th is William Brock. 20th, Kenny Moma. And showing you the rest of the field here.
Yeah, Rob Evans is in the back right there. The 26 definitely going to hurt him in the points.
And Time Pollard now has fallen to 41st. Meanwhile, Shelton and Ryan George battle for 4th. Shelton on the inside line through 3 and 4 actually made that somewhat work.
Jesse Turner coming to the back bumper right here.
And this is about the closest we've seen anyone to the back bumper of that 22 since the early laps. Here comes Jesse Turner making a move for the race lead.
Oh, Jesse Turner. Besides that 500, he's done awful this season. Good to see him try to get a career redemption right here.
Gene Sanford going to look for an opening. Maybe going to try and use the outside line to her advantage through 3 and 4 to get second away from the 41.
Yeah, the 41's trying the worst possible angles. That's all I can tell. He's an ASM.
And unfortunately, not going to work for Turner. Now here comes Sanford trying for second down the front straightaway.
Correct, as now the 47 helping the 41 to just snake that draft. The top 5 have just blown the rest of the field out to the proportions.
As 6th place is 3 seconds back from them. Here comes Turner once again. Gonna try for it down the back straightaway one more time, but Gene Sanford now gonna fill the hole on the outside.
Correct, they're feeling froggy, so here they come. Here goes the 41 car to the bar, but that's not a good place to be.
And
Whoa.
still has the nose there, though, as they come off turn number 4. Gene Sanford fell quite a ways back, though. Gonna get a run down the front straightaway. This is gonna be a massive run for the 47 down in turn number 1. Turner is still there as they go into turn number 1, side by side for the race lead.
Oh, Gene's got the third line, and so does Turner. Give that lead to Jesse Turner.
And the 41 will clear, coming off turn number 2. New leader at Auto Club, Jesse Turner.
13 laps to go, too.
And now Wilson falls into second. Sanford hangs on to third. Shelton fourth, and Ryan George fifth.
Nobody in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series has won in the 41 car, so that'd be a milestone for her, too. Him. Jesse Turner.
I'm just trying to think back to the history of the 41. As Wilson now gonna try see what he can do now that he's back in traffic. We saw Ozkan once he fell back, just did not have the same car in traffic. Wilson trying everything down the back straightaway. He peeked out a little bit, but falls back in line.
He damn near took him out.
Gonna peek again into turn number 3.
And Wilson's going to get his spot back for how long?
About the same, this is almost going to be the same move that Turner pulled on Wilson, but it doesn't quite work for the 22. Sanford, Shelton, and George looking on.
Yep, that's nobody's working with the 41 car. That's funny.
Meanwhile, that gap, at least for one lap, the gap to 6th had actually closed down a little bit. It was back under 3 seconds.
Yeah, so we're getting everything going. It's the 22 car right there. Throw the top 5 under a blanket right now.
Top 5 that last time by were separated by just 0.6 of a second.
Coming down to 10 to go right here.
And do they have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure.
As Gene Sanford looking for her first top 10 of the year. She, like we mentioned, came into this one 7th. Jesse Turner starting to gap the 22 a little bit.
Whoa. Yep, there he comes down here.
And now Wilson with a run down the back straightaway. Not going to be able to get there. Ryan George starting to fall back.
Yep, as 22 car in the bottom. Oh boy.
Gene Sanford loses the nose a little bit to 3 and 4. That might open the door for the 21 down the front straightaway.
Correct. Yep, as we're going down now, lap 54. So it's going to be interesting. Who is going to have
laps to go at Auto Club now in the Animaniacs 500.
Any lap traffic ahead of them, these guys?
Would be Dylan Young if they do catch him.
That's a tough break for Dylan right there, too. He was the best Hendrick car in the 30s, so.
As right now, the top two starting to break away a little bit from third.
I think Chris Wilson's got the better car. He just didn't get the right adjustment on that last pit stop.
And, I mean, to be fair, they were running in clean air the entire time. Maybe just made an adjustment to better the car in clean air, but now they are in traffic for the first time since very early on.
Correct. As everybody forming up, I see the top 5, like I mentioned, and then everybody else is 3 seconds back.
And right now, Wilson just strategizing, looking for a weak point in that Energizer dodge for Jesse Turner.
Yep, as we're going to be coming to 7 to go across the line right there.
As Turner takes to the low side, Wilson going to try and get a run on him down the front straightaway.
Yep, they're not panning out too well.
The gap starting to extend to third, which is going to be a problem for Wilson. He needs some help up there as well, but right now he's starting to lose that help.
Correct. As the 22 car is down, the top 2 are starting to break a little away from Gene, but the 22 needs to drag the brake so Gene could get that draft past the 41 car.
But how much can the 22 afford to fall back to him? That's the other question. As they come through 3 and 4.
Coming now to really 7 laps to go.
And Jessica Shelton going to look for an opening around the 47.
Correct. As we're lap 57 to 63. Definitely been interesting here so far.
Wilson peaking once again.
Here he comes to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, gonna get a little loose.
Not going to be able to get there yet off of turn number 2.
Yeah, they can't really do a performance when a doctor's in the room. That's what. Oh God, I really am tired.
Meanwhile, battle for third starting to look interesting as Gene Sanford trying to hold off Jessica Shelton. And here comes Chris Wilson. He's going to have a run down the front straightaway, I think.
Oh, I'm going to get roasted in the premiere chat. Here comes the 22 car at the bottom of the racetrack.
Not able to make a move yet as we go into 1.
Correct. As, yep, it's going to be the 5 cars here. It's 22 car. He just needs to hook that bottom of the racetrack. He needs a little sniff from the 49 car.
Meanwhile, battle for 6. Seth Cole trying for position, but not able to make it work down off turn number 2. So Ebrahimian hangs on to 6.
Well, Seth had the embarrassing DQ last week, and he's making redemption up here right now. Good comeback for him. Max Anderson is still there. He's in 11th. He's going to have a good points day for sure.
He's actually running in 13th. Kira Arenthed making pit strategy work for her. She's in 16th. She has the freshest tires out of this entire group.
Correct, and if as everybody pits, she's going to win the race, so go Arenthed.
Meanwhile, LeDuc makes the move for the 9th position on Derek Hamill.
Yeah, LeDuc's actually running good. 2 weeks in a row, he got a top 5 last weekend, I believe, too.
I believe so. As Hamill going to have that outside line, Adam Flickinger a solid run after starting back in 41st. Trying for the 11th position there. Was unable, or sorry, that was trying for 10th, unable to make that work.
Here comes the 12 car. We've mentioned him before. He's coming, but Chris Wilson, man, he's going to destroy that back bumper.
And unfortunately for him, it is now 7/10 of a second back to third place, Gene Sanford. All over the back bumper. They can start seeing the 24 a little bit as they come off turn number 2.
Correct. As 3 wide right there.
3 wide here for the 9th position.
Gonna come down to 2 laps to go here.
3 to go this time by, actually.
Sorry.
Derek Hamill will hang on to 10th. Smet Ozkan, Max Anderson going to hang on to positions there as well. Arenthed in 37 up to 15th. Now it's going to make it 3 wide into turn number 1.
Well, she got to pick out the tires to do that for sure.
And it's going to clear them both off turn number 2. Actually, well, she cleared the 8, didn't quite clear the 46. Meanwhile, Shelton has gone 3rd away from Gene Sanford. Now Ryan George trying to make it 4th. And Wilson peaking once again.
And here's everybody battling right now. It's 49 car putting a good fight, but Gene's has the wily veteran right there.
And Gene, just unfortunate for her, not going to have the tires really to make that fight work. Going to have to try and fight for everything here and just hang on. Hope she has enough to hang on to a top 5 here. 2 laps to go. Does Chris Wilson have anything for Jesse Turner?
Based on all the races weekend, I don't think so.
Into turn number 3 for the next to last time. And coming to the line, Jesse Turner will see the white flag first. White flag in the Animaniacs 500.
Yep. I see they come really fast pace race too.
And Wilson not going to be able to make a move into 1 and 2, so it looks like this is going to be Turner's race to lose. Starting to gap him down the back straightaway.
You know, I feel so good about this. Besides Turner, he missed the bunch of race. He was pretty down on himself, and coming out here with the win will to definitely cement him as a good driver.
Into 3 and 4. No pressure from behind for Jesse Turner.
Yep, and here they come off the corner.
And off turn number 4, it's going to be a win for Chip Ganassi Racing. Jesse Turner wins the Animaniacs 500.
And coming across the line there, you see Abrahamian there. Lost the plate, barely beat the 37 right there.
Here, aren't they going to end up 13th?
Not bad pitch strategy. So Time Paul, oh my god, of course Time Paul got 40th. Dylan Young, ouch. Halleck, ouch.
So it is Jesse Turner who wins on the day for Chip Ganassi Racing. The first win for the 41 car, so finally all 3 of their main numbers have won in the series.
Yeah, first win, second win for Ganassi this season too.
Joins JT Bryan as fellow winners, so ironically enough, it is the rookies at Chip Ganassi Racing who have actually won instead of the veteran.
Correct.
As top 10 here today, Jesse Turner, Chris Wilson, Jessica Shelton, Ryan George, and Jean Sanford does hang on for her first top 10 and top 5 of the season. Delon Abrahamian, Logan York gets a top 10, his first since Daytona.
Does Cole the redemption run.
Seth Cole, 8th, Rafael Leduc, 9th, and Derek Hamill, 10th. Adam Flickinger, a solid top 15 after starting 41st. And Steven, your final thoughts on this one?
I need to get some sleep. Besides that, it was definitely a good run for Turner. I'd like to see that. He was pretty low in the points, so that could definitely shake things up. What was he in points, Charles?
Try 54th.
54. So he most likely won't get top, so but definitely a shot in the arm.
He's going to double his point total.
Yeah, so Chris Wilson finally qualified, and he showed he has the speed. Good run for Ryan George. Sanford got a 5th, so she broke my heart and didn't get 11th place right there. Seth Cole, 8th. He was pretty low in the points after missing a race, along with Leduc. Leduc had a great run, and he'll move up there. Anderson's going to probably still up there. He had a good result there. The 10 car did was never a factor in the race. And next weekend, we'll be flying off the track, going over hill banks and killing fans. Next weekend at the reunit.
I will say we probably are not going to be doing the third one based on what we've seen so far. So with that though, congrats to Jesse Turner on his first career Coke Vanilla Cup Series win. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. For Stephen Powell III, I'm Gordon Fantona 1, and you have been watching a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys.